6:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madavala, read by Soundithavam. All schools in the Matara district closed for 2 days due to bad weather. The President says vocational training institutes of the country should be upgraded to the status of universities. World Teachers' Day falls today. Minister Nalin Fernando says that 2024 presents opportunities for achieving financial and economic growth. Vehicle revenue permits could be obtained from the convenience of the home commencing Saturday. Dates for the 2023 A-level exam announced. In foreign news, Pakistan orders Afghan asylum seekers out of country by November. In sports, the 2023 ODI World Cup to get underway in India today. All government schools in the Matara district will be closed on the 5th and 6th of October in view of the prevailing torrential rains and inclement weather conditions, Education Director of the Southern Province Ranjit Yapa confirmed. Both Level 1 and Level 2 early landslide warnings were issued yesterday by the National Building and Research Organisation for several areas in the Matara district. Accordingly, a Level 2 amber warning was issued for several areas in the Gaul, Kalutara, Kandy, Kagala, Matara and Ratnapura districts. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says vocational training institutes of the country should be upgraded to the status of universities. It will lead to produce skillful individuals to society. The country will be open for the world with more skillful workforce. The President emphasized that the future generation must be empowered with artificial intelligence and other modern techniques. He made these comments while addressing the graduation ceremony of the General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University yesterday. The country's human resource must be prepared to develop the country. World Teachers' Day falls today. It is an international day held annually on the 5th of October to celebrate the work of teachers. Established in 1994, it commemorates the signing of recommendation by the International Labour Organization and the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Countries celebrate World Teachers' Day with their own interests and on selected days. Sri Lanka celebrates World Teachers' Day tomorrow. The Minister of Trade, Commerce and Food Security, Nalin Fernando, expressed optimism about the country's economic prospects during a press conference held at the Presidential Media Centre yesterday. He stated that with the government's efforts to reduce economic contraction, there is a possibility of achieving a robust economic growth rate of 1.8 to 1.9% in 2024. The minister highlighted that the government's prudent policy decisions in the previous year have led to a significant economic recovery and brought inflation down to single digits. Speaking on the theme of a collective path to a stable country, Minister Nalin Fernando shared these positive developments. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Minister of State for Technology, Kanaka Herath, announced that Sri Lanka will introduce the new motor vehicle revenue license system on the 7th of this month. He emphasized that this program will be implemented in all provinces except for the Western Province. Additionally, he highlighted that the new motor vehicle revenue licenses can be conveniently obtained from home using this innovative system. The State Minister said these details during a news conference held at the Presidential Media Centre recently under the theme Collective Path to a Stable Country. The dates for the 2023 GCE Advanced Level Examinations were announced by the Commissioner General of Examinations yesterday. As per a media release issued by the exams chief, HJM Amit Jasundara, the 2023 GCE A-level exam is slated to commence on the 4th of January 2024 and will be held until 31st January 2024. Meanwhile, the students who are unable to apply for the 2023 advanced level examinations before the given deadline due to delays caused in the previous exam session and the rescrutiny of the 2022 GCE advanced level exam session have been given time from the 6th to the 10th of October to apply for the 2023 session. The relevant applicants will be able to submit their applications for the 2023 advanced level examination through the official website of the Department of Examinations, www.donets.lk. Repeating, www.donets.lk. That concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Memorandum of Understanding was signed between the Sri Lanka Air Force and Sri Lankan Airlines at the Air Force headquarters yesterday. The ceremony was graced by the presence of the Commander of the Air Force, Air Marshal Udeni Rajapaksa, and the Chairman of Sri Lankan Airlines, Ashok Patirage. The objective of this agreement is to strengthen the collaboration between the Air Force and the Sri Lankan Airlines, particularly in the fields of aviation training, education and other areas of mutual interest. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Minister of Agriculture, Mahinda Amaravira, cautioned that the country may have to face a food shortage due to the impact of the sudden weather changes in the country. The Minister gave this warning at a discussion regarding the implementation of projects to increase the production of food crops at the Ministry of Agriculture yesterday. About 70,000 acres of paddy cultivation have been destroyed due to severe drought in the recent past, and hundreds of acres of paddy crops which are about to be harvested have also been destroyed due to the torrential rains that are currently falling in several provinces. Also, the vegetable crops in the low country have been destroyed by the rain. That came to you in Watchlight. We move on to a bulletin of world news. Making headlines this morning, Pakistan orders Afghan asylum seekers out of the country by November. The EU states agree deal tackle crisis in migration and asylum. Lady Gaga wins case to keep $500,000 dog-napping reward. Pakistan has ordered all unauthorized Afghan asylum seekers, an estimated 1.7 million people, to leave the country by November. A spike in attacks along the two countries' border, which Islamabad blames on Afghanistan-based operatives, has escalated tensions this year. It has also fueled resentment in Islamabad, which on Tuesday announced a crackdown on illegal migrants. The Taliban government urged Pakistan to rethink its unacceptable move. Afghanistan's rulers have repeatedly denied providing refuge to militants who target Pakistan. Last week, a blast at a mosque in Mustang City, near the border with Afghanistan, killed at least 50 people during a religious celebration. EU member states have come to an agreement on overhauling their rules on responding to big increases in irregular migration. The deal came after weeks of haggling over the EU's crisis mechanism and after a steep rise in arrivals on the Italian island of Lampedusa. Under the plan, countries facing crisis would be able to request solidarity contributions from other states. European Commission head Ursula von der Leyen praised a real game changer. She said the deal meant that talks could move forward with the European Parliament with the aim of securing a migration pact in time for European Parliament elections in June 2024. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz spoke of a historic turning point. Lady Gaga does not have to pay a $500,000 reward to a woman who returned her dogs after they were stolen in 2021, a U.S. judge has ruled. Jennifer McBride previously sued the star for the no questions asked reward plus $1.5 million in damages. But the judge said Mrs. McBride couldn't claim the money because her role in returning the star's dogs had led to a conviction of receiving stolen goods. She argued she was just making sure the two bulldogs were returned safely. Mrs. McBride's lawyer said the singer and actress had committed a breach of contract and fraud by not paying up following their return. But in a ruling this week, Judge Holly J. Fugee said Mrs. McBride was not entitled to thereafter benefit from their wrongdoing by seeking to enforce the contract. Back to the headlines of the world news. Pakistan orders Afghan asylum seekers out of the country by November. The EU states agree to deal to tackle crisis in migration and asylum. And Lady Gaga wins case to keep $500,000 dog-napping reward. That concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
The Labour and Foreign Employment Minister Manusha Nanayakara said that in 2023 up to now, 5,091 Sri Lankans have secured employment in South Korea. Within the first 9 months of 2022, 3,460 Sri Lankans had moved to South Korea for jobs, and that number has increased by 44% in 2023 for the same period, the minister said. The minister went on to South Korea on Tuesday on an official visit, and within his stay he will have discussions with the authorities towards securing more jobs for Sri Lankans in South Korea. 54 Sri Lankans flew to South Korea on Tuesday to take up jobs in the production sector. Another 36 Sri Lankans flew there for jobs in the production and fisheries sectors yesterday. That's development news. On to sports. The 2023 One-Day International World Cup is scheduled to get underway in India today. The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 stage is set as all 10 captains gathered yesterday at the world's largest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad on the eve of the biggest cricket World Cup ever. Across the next 45 days, 48 matches will take place across 10 world-class venues, beginning with a repeat of the 2019 final, as England take on New Zealand in the tournament's opener at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad this evening. Ahead of that match, the official ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 official image was taken at the Narendra Modi Stadium. That's sports news. We take a look at business news next.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The State Minister of Investment Promotion, Dilum Amanagama's recent visit to China has resulted in the due attention of the major players in the Chinese business fraternity. The CZK Hari Economy and Trade Development Company Limited had an initial discussion during the minister's visit to China, and within a few weeks, the representatives of the company visited the minister and the officials at the BOI. The representative of the CZK Hari Economy and Trade Development Company Limited seeks further investment opportunities in sectors such as new renewable energy projects, in solar power generation and storage, with the idea of introducing a new brand solar taxi system to Sri Lanka with technology transfer for training and developing the Sri Lankan youth. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Business news, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life eke change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dagapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship eka menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
In economic news, European Union delegation to Sri Lanka and the Maldives is launching its campaign Let's Go Green on the 1st of October continues until the 10th of November in the run-up to the COP28 summit. The campaign aims to create awareness and advocate for responsible green behavior around plastic usage, waste reduction and energy saving among consumers. The campaign will include a series of competitions and awareness activities primarily aimed at school and university students, encouraging them to debate and invent their own solutions to current issues around Sri Lanka's environmental challenges. That's economic news.
Weather report.
The Met Department forecast that showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern and northwestern provinces, also in Kandy and Nuwara area. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the eastern and Uva provinces and also in Polonnaruwa and Mullaitivu during the evening or night. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. All schools in the Matara district closed for 2 days due to bad weather. The President says vocational training institutes of the country should be upgraded to the status of universities. World Teachers' Day falls today. Minister Nalin Fernandez says that 2024 presents opportunities for achieving financial and economic growth. Vehicle revenue permits could be obtained from the homes commencing Saturday. Dates for the 2023 A-level exam announced. Pakistan orders Afghan asylum seekers out of the country by November. And the 2023 ODI World Cup to get underway in India today. That concludes this morning's news broadcast.